It's the KC Arts Beat Report. I'm Patrick Neas. I feel like I should say yeehaw because my guest today is none other than the classical cowgirl herself, Destiny Mermagen. Hello, Destiny.
Hello, Patrick. How are you?
I'm doing really well, thank you. Classical cowgirl, before we go any farther, I think you should tell us the origin of that moniker.
Well, I lived in Washington, D.C. for over 10 years, maybe almost 15. I'm originally from South Dakota. And when I was in D.C., I got really depressed because everyone's so friendly there. Just kidding. Uh, so I was at the time trying to be creative and start my career. And classical cowgirl kind of just came to me because I grew up on a farm or a ranch, more appropriately named. I can play the fiddle, but I also really love classical music. So I came up with this tagline that I'm classically trained and fiddle raised, playing everything from Bach to barn burners. And then that led to my first album, Bach to Barn Burners. And it's been that way ever since. And when I was in DC, it was really novel. People were like, wow, we get the classical. What's the cowgirl part? And then I moved to Kansas, and people were like, wow, we get the cowgirl part. What's the classical part?
Yes, you're in the right town to be a cowgirl. So,
Right.
and Destiny has been doing amazing things here in Kansas City since you arrived. And again, Destiny, you may have just said that, I missed it, but when did you arrive here in Kansas City?
Oh, you did not miss it. We arrived before COVID. I think the fall of 2018 was the first, or 2017 or 2018. I can't remember. Time
Uh,
flies.
but in those short years, Destiny has done amazing work here in classical music. She started an organization called Prairie Classical. And what can you tell us about Prairie Classical?
Prairie classical is so fun. It's my little child. I love it. I Well, ever since I've performed, I've always included youth on my concerts because I feel like giving them performance opportunities is really important, but not just performance opportunities, actually having them collaborate with professional musicians is something that can be really inspiring. When I grew up in South Dakota, we had a really strong music program in Rapid City, and the high school students would often play with the teachers in the symphony orchestra. It was a small enough town that, the more bodies, the better. So, so I actually got experiences in the professional world at a very young age. And it really opened my eyes to a different way of life, something that I could look forward to, something that made me feel like an adult when I was just a teenager. I felt super cool.
Uh-huh.
And I think it's been it was a good impetus for me to turn this into my own thing by starting a nonprofit and getting community support to continue to do concerts where youth are included right alongside the pros. That's the big thing. And we also say that music is the best medicine because I believe music is healing. I mean, I could go on for hours and hours and
Oh,
hours.
yes, I know. And you do have a variety of concerts under the banner of Prairie Classical, and you have three big ones coming up in December. And we'll talk more in depth about each of them. But maybe to start with, Destiny, you could just give us an overview of the dates and what the concert is, where it is, and how people can get tickets. And then we'll talk about them a little more.
Okay, so the easiest way to keep track of all of this is to go to the website www.prairieclassical.org. And it's pretty clear on there. You can figure out when and where the concerts are. The first one is actually, wow, it's in almost a week. That's coming right up. It's
Uh,
December 4th, and this one will be up north at Pine Ridge Presbyterian Church. It's very easily accessible from the highway. People think it's really far away, but it's actually not. It's a beautiful space. The acoustic is amazing. And it's going to be called Festive Follies because, well, the music is festive and life is a joke. Just kidding. I'm so
Yes.
cynical right now about all of my sick animals in the house. No, it's I'm going to be playing some classical music, some folk, like Appalachian fiddle, and also some Celtic Irish folk tunes. It's just a really nice mix of festive music. And Karen Savage, the pianist from UMKC, is playing alongside with me, and my husband Mike will be playing cello, and we are inviting two students to have special features during the concert. Will Savage, Karen's son, who plays cello, and my student Gabrielle Griggs. She's a senior. So that's the December 4th. And then I have my lunchtime wellness series, which is the third Wednesday of each month. That is December 18th. That's at noon. And I am currently working on the topic for that. Those are always fun because I have a writing prompt or a thought prompt for the audience, and they're very interactive, very different than your typical evening classical concert. And then December 22nd at Old Mission is the big side by side of the fall season, although it's officially winter now. Wait, is it? When's
No,
winter? No, winter.
right.
No.
Well, I
Oh
think
my
now it's
God.
around that date. Did you?
You're
What?
right. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the 22nd. So it's the
yeah,
official
right.
bring in of winter.
Yes.
Um, that'll be a side by side where it's a small chamber orchestra of strings, and there's a professional seated next to a student. And those are always really fun to see how much the students grow. They just love it. They're so scared at first, like, oh my God, I have to know my music because I'm sitting next to somebody who's really playing all of the notes. But then I think they even surprise themselves that they learn it so well and they can play it, and the quality is really high. It always sounds really, really good. You wouldn't know that as a student, or it's, well, I mean, it's half pro, half student, but you wouldn't know that there were students in it because it's really, really good. And let's see, that one's called Merry Musings. We're gonna have some Christmas tunes, some classical Baroque tunes, some Hanukkah tunes. We're even doing Feliz Navidad, one of my all-time favorite Christmas tunes. It's going to be a lot of fun. So that's it in a nutshell. That one's at 3 p.m. on a Sunday.
Okay, great. And again, for information about all these concerts, the place to go is
Is prairieclassical.org.
now Festive Follies. What can you give us an idea, a little, what music you'll be doing on that program?
Yes.
Some of the titles.
So that concert is at 7 p.m. I forgot to mention that. And let's see, I am playing one of my all-time favorite Handel violin sonatas because, I mean, it's Christmas. You've got to have Handel, right?
Yes.
And it's a very colorful, expressive sonata. And that's the classical element of it. I'm also doing, oh, all the kids love Lindsay Sterling, you know, the violinist that ice skates while she plays violin and
Oh,
does lots of.
wow. Do you do that too?
Yeah, I won't be ice skating at this concert, but I will be playing some of her arrangements of I Saw Three Ships, which is very kind of Irish Celtic fiddle. It's really, really cool. And then the Jacob Niles, is John Jacob Niles, right? Is that his
Oh,
name?
I think that's right. I think the guy,
Yeah.
yeah, 19th
The
century or 18th century, something like.
the Apple yeah, the Appalachian folk tunes. So
Yeah,
I wonder as I wander.
yeah.
Um oh, and then I've got a really lovely version of the Wexford Carol. There's a really famous version online with Alison Krauss and Yo-Yo Ma, and I try to draw from that a little bit. So it's sort of in that folksy style. And then green sleeves, because of course you have to have green sleeves
Yes, yes.
because it's green sleeves. And oh, then I have this epic, epic Christmas carol. It's literally called Epic Christmas because it sounds like rock, but it's not. It's Carol of the Bells,
Uh-huh.
and it's very dramatic. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. It's really dramatic.
Well, that's one of my favorite carols, and to add to its epicness has got to be
Yeah,
good.
yeah, it's pretty dramatic. And what else? There are a few other
Uh-huh, but I
things.
can see how it's a mix of classical with your a little with a bit of cowgirl Christmas tossed in too.
Yes, yes. And my student Gabby and I, she's doing O Come, O Come Emmanuel as a duet with me. And then we have kind of a folksy duet of In the Bleak Midwinter.
Ah, very good. Well, it sounds lovely. Again, tell us when and where that concert is. Is it
December 4th, Pine Ridge Presbyterian Church, 7 p.m. It's free.
great? What a gift. Wonderful. This time of year when people are blowing their budget on all kinds of other things, to know they can still go to a concert of great music and they don't have to spend a dime, except I do hope they support you. Uh,
Yes, donations were a great tax write-off. I hate asking for money, but I'm learning how. We're a great tax write-off.
that's good. Now, you've also started a series that I think is really interesting and unique. I'm not familiar with anything like this before. A Wellness Wednesday.
Hmm.
What is that? And there went my phone. Sorry. Can you tell us what Wellness Wednesday is and how'd you get the idea to do it?
Hmm. How did I get the idea to do it? That's a great question. Well, it's sort of, well, let me tell you what it is first. It's a half an hour concert the third Wednesday of each month, and it's at 12 noon. So it's a lunchtime concert. And it features music alongside talk. And I will talk to the audience, I will interact with the audience. I don't care if the audience claps while I'm playing. It's just a very, it's like a very fun, what's the word I'm looking for? Interactive type setting. And each concert, I feature a certain topic. So the first topic, particularly mental health related, the first topic was joy and sorrow. And then our October one was fear itself. And the last one was gratitude in November. And I have quotes. I'll have a quote from a famous writer or philosopher or somebody, something that I find really inspiring. And then I will put that on the program and then ask people a prompt, give people a prompt to sort of jog their brain about thinking about things. And if they would like to share it during the concert, they can, because there's a share time where we talk. And it's been received really well. People really like it. And people really, it's a neat concept to come to a classical music concert and then actually talk to the people up on stage, because a lot of classical music concerts can be unapproachable and on like a high pedestal, which it's a high art, of course it should be, but that doesn't mean it can't be approachable or fun. And while I try to do that with all my concerts, this one in particular, I enjoy focusing on the mental health aspect, mainly because I've spent tens of thousands of dollars in therapy over the years and feel like I have an honorary degree in psychology.
Yes, put that education to use.
Exactly. Music has really been healing for me and has been like medicine for me. If I hadn't come across music as a teenager, given the situation I grew up in, I think I would have, I don't know what would have happened to me, but I would have not had a successful life. So I think music really did that for me.
I think this would be a good point to mention that you also have a wonderful YouTube channel with
Mm.
many different issues. Why don't you tell us about your channel?
Yes, that is at youtube.com/Destiny's Musings. And oh, it was born out of the pandemic. I started doing 100 days of practice videos with Hillary Hahn, and I made them humorous and short and ridiculous because I had gotten really sick and I couldn't play the violin and I didn't know if I'd ever be able to play again. So I built up my strength over 100 days with making videos. And then I got the video bug. I was like, ooh, this is fun. So then I started talking about chronic illness issues. And then I started talking about depression issues. And then I started talking about every single issue I could ever think of that's happened to me and probably most of the rest of the world. There go my cats. Wow. Hey, kitty cats. Oh, sorry, a brief parental moment where I yell at them. Okay, sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. Well, and by the way,
No problem.
he has the most amazing menagerie of felines. I was blown away when I met them.
They
Um,
are beautiful, and the two females right now are at each other's necks, fighting for my attention, I think. So I have to yell at them sometimes.
but your YouTube channel is really well done. I mean, Destiny is so talented at so many different things. not just playing the violin, but also communicating with people, which she does so well at her YouTube channel. You really need to check that out. It's really quite well done. And
Thank you.
again, the Wellness Wednesday concert in December is when and where?
December 18th, 12 noon, Old Mission United Methodist Church.
And again, it's free. And
Hmm.
what a wonderful break that would be in the middle of a hectic holiday season. Yeah, I think we could all use a mental health break in the middle of the holiday craziness. And this is the perfect opportunity, and it's no charge. A lot cheaper than seeing a psychiatrist, right?
Oh my gosh, so much cheaper and probably more effective. Sorry to my therapist. I love her, but
No, no, I'm sure she understands. Uh, and then the final concert of December and of the year. It's a biggie. You talked about
hmm
a little bit before. What is it?
the side by side, my dream has been to expand this. Right now, we're at one in the fall and one in the spring. And this one is going to be holiday music. Lots of fun holiday music. Some of the pop favorites, Let It Snow. All I Want for Christmas is My Two Front Teeth.
Oh, that's
Uh,
better than All I Want for Christmas Is You.
uh,
So,
and then yeah, and then some Hanukkah music, Feliz Navidad, because I love Feliz Navidad, and some Corelli, the Corelli Christmas Concerto. And you can't have a Christmas concert without Bach chorales. So we are going to have a little Bach chorale feature as well. And one of my youngest students who is not in the side by side orchestra because she's an elementary student, she will be making her debut in a duet of God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen with me. Oh, it's going to be super exciting.
wow, that sounds awesome. And I
Yeah.
was going to mention Chanticleer on one of their Christmas CDs has a terrific arrangement where they blend God Rest You Merry Gentlemen with your favorite Feliz Navidad. And
Oh,
it's just the most clever darn thing. I just had to throw that out there because it's one of my favorite Christmas arrangements. I like Feliz Navidad too. It was my mom's least favorite Christmas carol of all time, but I like Jose. I don't think she liked Jose Feliciano, but I
mm,
I think it's a classic. So this concert is going to be at Old Mission as well, right?
yes. Yep. Old Mission and Fairway, right off Shawnee Mission Parkway.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to badger you, but the t date and time again?
That's okay. December 18th at 3. No, 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 fail. No. December 22nd at 3 p.m.
I don't blame you for mixing things up, Destiny. You've got so
Thank
much
you.
going on in December. And again, for people who want to get the lowdown on all three of your big concerts coming up, where do they go?
prairieclassical.org.
And I also want to mention that Destiny is a radio star on KPR. You can hear her Monday through Friday, isn't that right?
Yes, Monday through Friday, 7 to 9. And then starting in the new year, I can't announce it yet, but there will be another fun show that I'll be doing. So stay tuned.
All right. Dial position for KPR, is it
Is 91.5.
91.5
Yes.
KPR? Be sure to tune in to Destiny and everybody else there at KPR. And we'll look forward to hearing about this new show. That sounds exciting.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
But in the meantime, don't forget Destiny's three big concerts coming up in December. Destiny, Classical Cowgirl, happy trails to you. And I hope you have a very happy holiday season, you and Mike. And thank you for all the great music and all the great work you're doing with the youth in the area. You're right, it's so much needed. It's such a great opportunity for these kids to play side by side with musicians of your caliber and Mike's caliber and all the other great professionals you bring in. So thank you for that.
Great. Thank you, Patrick. This was a fun interview. We should do more of these. They're entertaining.
Well, you're always entertaining. Thanks a lot, Dustin. Destiny.
Thank you, Patrick.